Hello friend and welcome to this session. In this sessions we are going to learn how to execute the Ansible Playbook command using the Jenkins. So in this session you are going to see the things in an automated way. So whenever user push the code to the Git repository, there is Jenkins jobs which will listen for the incoming commits for every minutes. So whenever there is a commit by the developer, Jenkins will listen that for the changes, and using the Maven, it start building the applications and move that artifacts to the Ansible machine. There we have a Docker file available and the war file that is transferred by the Jenkins to the Ansible server. Okay, using the Ansible command that we are going to integrate with the Jenkins, it will going to prepare the image out of the Docker file and move that image to the Docker Hub. Before moving, it is also doing the stuff related with the taggings so that it will move to the appropriate accounts. Okay, then Ansible will trigger the another deployment file, and this time the deployment file will not on the Ansible. It will going to deploy create a container on the Docker Hub, and the Docker Hub, it will pull the image from the Docker Hub. It will pull the Docker images from the Docker Hub to build the container, and we can see all the changes using the Docker server IP. So this is the task for today's sessions, and we are going to see how we can accomplish this particular task, these activities. And if you didn't refer my previous video, you can refer all those video in a systematic order to have a better clarity, because all the sessions have interlinked with each other. So when you jump to the any of the particular sessions, you will not get a clear picture. So watch from 1 to 15th, and this is the 16th videos. So you can see that I keep on adding the videos related with the DevOps, and after completing this DevOps sessions, we will bring Kubernetes into the picture. So instead of deploying anything into the Docker server, we will have another server that have the Kubernetes setup, and we are invoking the deployment YAML file for doing all the deployment and replica sets pods. So whenever the user hit or do any commits, the Jenkins will pull and Ansible will do all the activity. But instead of building the container at a Docker server level, it will create all the deployments on the Kubernetes. So this is my plan for the other sessions, but in these sessions we are targeting that Jenkins will move the artifacts to the Ansible. Okay, and Ansible will use the playbook, the Ansible playbook, to build image, tag it, and push it to the Docker Hub. After that, Ansible will clean all those images from the local, and the Jenkins will again trigger the another playbook that will create a container on the Docker server, not on the Ansible. Previously we did on the Ansible server. This time we are doing in a proper way. So you can see that we are playing with the three server here: Jenkins, Ansible, and server for a single commit. Okay, the GitHub is also there, and Docker Hub is also there. So I'm going to show you all the things. So watch this video till end. So do you have the better understanding that what we are going to achieve? You are going to learn something from this video, and that will be very useful either for the learning purpose or either for you if you are working in any particular organizations. These types of things will be very helpful. Okay, so here we have Docker server, Ansible server, and all are running under the issue2 instance. So you can see that all the things are running, and this is our GitHub where we have us. You can say that the sample application, Java applications, we are hosted here. This is the Jenkins dashboard, and this is the job that we are going to modify to build our CI/CD pipeline for all those activities. And this is our Docker Hub. So you can see that the 36 times the push has been done, and the latest we have before the 3 hours. Okay, so we are going to do all these activities again. So we can see that how we can perform this for the Docker server. Previously we did for the Ansible server, and this time we are going to look and do the activities for the from the Ansible to the Docker server. So what we have currently here, we are logged in with the ANS admin. So this is the user that we created at the Ansible server also, and at the Docker server also. So we are making the all the things means with using the Ansible ANS admin user, and that this user also the part of the Docker group. That if you didn't refer my previous video, you can see how we can complete this user adding to the particular groups. Okay. So let me give a view on the Ansible playbook also. So cat Ansible Docker Hub. Okay, so if you look into this, we are not executing from the root, so we just added the false flag this time. And what this particular Ansible playbook is doing, it's creating a Docker image. So you can see that whatever we have, like this is the artifacts, and from this particular artifacts, using the Docker file, it's building the image. First, it's changing to going to this particular locations. Okay, so if you do the pwd here, so this is our current present working directory opt docker. So it's going to the opt docker where they're creating an image. After that, it's tagging that image with the javithu, because this is our Docker Hub account. So you can see that our javithu is in this way, and this is the public. So we don't require any types of credentials to push that particular image to the Docker Hub. So what it's going to do, it's tagging the image and then pushing it to the Docker Hub. After that, you can see that it's removing also, and if we don't have the image exist previously, in that case the playbook will raise an exception, so we ignoring that error for that particular circumstances. Okay, so maybe when we are running it, we don't have the images at that time, this will particular playbook will raise exceptions. To avoid that exceptions, we are ignoring. Okay, so this is the first thing. Let me clear the screen. Okay, now we are going to understand the second, the deployment YAML file. Just I am giving you a recap. Ansible DevOps. Okay, so this time also the become is not true, it's false. And what we are doing, this is for the deployment, that this particular YAML, the Ansible playbook, we are going to execute on the Docker server. Okay, this we are going to execute on the Ansible server, because it will create an image and push it to the Docker Hub, and after that this particular Ansible playbook will execute for the Docker server to create a container, and while doing the container, it will fetch the image from the Docker Hub. Okay, so what it's going to do, it's all the command will be executed on the Docker server. Let me clear you first. So it will create the it will stop the container, then remove the container. Okay, we are ignoring for any types of exceptions here at the three places, and it will remove the images if we have any images with this name. Okay, so you can see that it's pulling the images from the Docker Hub, because at the Docker server level we are creating the container out of the whatever the image we are going to fetch or pull from the Docker Hub, and we are using that particular image to create our container. Okay, so I hope that both of the playbook is very clear to you guys to understand it, because if you have any confusion on this, you can refer my previous video, but clarity is required, then only you can able to understand that what we are going to achieve in this particular session. So this particular session is you can say the summary of last 5 or 6 session. So we performed several activities like deploying in the Tomcat server, deploying on the Docker, deploying on the Ansible, deploying on the Ansible through the Docker server. So you can see that the several activity we are performing in the DevOps series. So jumping on a particular video will not give any particular clarity on this particular subject. So better to have a systematic order, go through a systematic order, because I several time I receive a query that can we see a particular videos, or either we can go through a systematic order. I always suggest to go to a systematic order, and you will learn more what is the DevOps and how we can use the DevOps tools to achieve our job. So let me clear again. So this is the Docker Hub, and we are going to create another image, and we are going to push it. So currently the number is 36. So we are going to from the Ansible server, I am going to show you the manual way. After that, we will put all the command to the Jenkins. There we are going to configure it, and then we will go to push for any changes to the Bitbucket. Okay, and the GitHub, and then you can see all those stuff in a CI/CD manner, in an automated manner. But let me perform this activity in a manual first, so you have a better clarity on this. So Ansible Playbook, and I and the hosts. This file also exists here. Let me what we have in the host as well. Cat host. So you can see that currently we have two. One is the local host, and other is the. This is the private IP of the Docker. If you want to look IP ADDR, and you can see that 4787, 172, 31, 47, 87, and this is the same. Okay. So let's run a playbook on the Ansible server. Okay, so how can we run a playbook on Ansible server targeting to only a local host, not on the, because if you run the playbook, that will do all the activities on both the machine, because we have the host defined. So we are going to limit it. Ansible playbook minus I host and the Ansible Docker image, Ansible Docker Hub image, and here we have to add the you can say the command limit, where we are defining localhost. So it's looking into the host file, but it's targeting only for the localhost. It's not targeting for the Docker server. Okay, so let me run this command. So you can see that it's gathering all the informations, and it's pushing now. Now it's pushing to the Docker Hub. So when it's pre-create the image, it's going to tag it, and then it's trying to push it into the Docker Hub. So you can see that it's successfully able to move that particular image to the Docker Hub, and then clean our local environment for the image that it's created. So if I refresh this Docker Hub, you can see that the 36 is now changed to 37. So one image tagged and move it to the Docker Hub. Okay, the few seconds ago. Okay, so this is fine. And what we are going to do here, like from the Ansible server, we are going to hit the this IP Docker server. Okay, let me paste it here. Oh. Okay, it's executed. This is not we required. Okay, so what we are going to just remove this, and do ls again. Let's clear the screen first. Okay, ls, and we are going to execute. What we are going to execute here, the Ansible playbook, the same playbook, but with the different for the different playbook name, the Ansible DevOps. Okay, this is the deployment file that we have to run. Where on the Docker server. From Ansible Server. Okay, this is the manual way we are doing. After that, we will do all the things from the CICD pipeline using the Jenkins jobs configuration. So again, here we are going to limit. Okay, we are going to fetch the IP from here. This is the Docker server. You can see that this is the Docker server. Okay, and from the Ansible, we are going to paste it here. Okay, what I copied. Oh, sorry. Let me copy the IP and paste it here. Okay, so before that, I'm going to look for the what is the if there is any container running or not. Let's remove all the things to avoid any confusion. So docker ps -a, do we have any? Okay, we have any, but in exited state. Let's remove it. Docker rm and use the container id here. Paste it here. Okay, so docker ps -a, we have any stopped or running container? We don't have any. Docker images. Actually, these all things are managed by the Ansible playbook, but I want to clear the system, the Docker server, so that you can understand the things. Okay, let's remove this also, because other way, okay, there is a created time for 4 hours. So this is the thing. I don't going to remove the image, so that you can understand that if the time changes here in the seconds or minutes, then you can understand, okay, it's fetching the image from the Docker hub right now. So just I'm going to deploy it. So it's targeting all the things on the Docker server, not on the local, because we limited the IP. So you can see that it's pulling the images from the Docker hub. We are getting all the messages at the Ansible platform because we are invoking, and all the things are performed at the Docker server level. This is the message that we ignored because the container not exist. The image not exist. Image exists, but the container not exist. So you can see that it's fetch all the required images from the Docker hub, and I think we have the latest message here. Okay, so now you can see that now 4 minutes ago, okay, it able to fetch the Ansible images from the Docker hub at the Docker server level. Okay, and what about the container? Previously we don't have any container. Docker ps, do we have any running? Yes, we have running. So you can see that the Ansible playbook is running fine, and we can browse the application as well. So let me go to the Docker server, and here we can going to fetch the public IP. Okay, and let me access that as well. Okay, with TAT, the port will be at TAT, and web server, web app. Okay, so you can see that it's deployed perfectly fine, and now we are going to modify our Jenkins job for doing all the things in an automated way. Okay, so we are going to Jenkins here, and because we are going to modify our previous job, we are not going to create a new to save our time. Okay, deploying to Ansible, and the message is not clear. Image creation at Ansible server, as you can see, the container on Docker server. Okay, It's quite clear. Okay, so we are not going to change any path. We have the same repo, and we didn't provided any credential because this is the public. Okay, so we are not going to change. The pool SCM is already fine because it's listening for the every minutes. You can see the message here. This is the cron job. What we are going to change it's in at the last. So you can see that it's integrating whenever this particular job run, it will targeting to the Ansible server. Here we pass all the informations that where to look for the artifacts file, where to move and remove the prefix so that it will copy the artifacts into the home directory, which particular remote directory you have to pick. This is the opt docker. We already have the all the files at this particular locations, and Ansible playbook. Okay, this is the thing we have to modify. And if you remember my previous video, I already changed the name of the images. This particular file name is already get changed, so we are going to take the new one. Okay, let's clear the screen. ls. So this is the image that we change the name to have a better clarity in the previous video. Okay, so we are going to change it here. Okay, so Ansible Docker Hub. Okay, so this is the same command Ansible Playbook. We provided where the host file we keep and where is the YAML file. Because one more thing we have to do, the limit, because it will limit to it will run to the local host. Okay, and similar command I have to use for the deployment also. So I'm going to copy and paste, and we are going to fetch the name of that particular deployment YAML from here. I'm not going to type anything to avoid the typo. Let's paste it here. And here we have to provide the IP of the you can take the IP from here as well. This is the Docker and this is the IP. Okay, this is the same IP 172.172.31.47. So let's take it from here. Okay, if you don't have the access to this particular panel, you can say the console, then you can take it from here as well. This is the Docker, and if you write the IP ADDR, you can find the same. Okay, so this is the private IP, and this we are going to use it. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to modify it here, Ansible, and we are going to remove the local host because this particular playbook Jenkins will execute on the Ansible server for Docker server. And delete. Okay. So all things looks perfect. Now I'm going to apply and save it. Okay, so now all the things are set. So you can see that we automated all the things. Now we have to do the things manually. Before that, let's have a look. What is the upload number for the Docker Hub? 39. Okay, so 10 minutes ago. Okay, so I'm going to modify this file running on Ansible server to create a container on Docker server. Okay, so this is the modifications that I did, and I'm going to the git pass, git status. Okay, we have a change. Git add git commit with a message changed text. Simple message I am providing. Git push. Okay, the push has been done. Now I'm going to the GitHub. Here we have a change. You can see that 18 seconds ago. And what about the Jenkins job? Is it started? It's not started yet. Let me refresh because we have a cron job in place which is listening for every minute. So let's for wait for 10 seconds more. Soon we have a job running here. Sometimes it's take time, but not more than 1 minute. So you can see that one job is started and it started running. So what we can do, we can look into the Docker Hub. So whenever the Ansible first playbook will run, it will upload that image to the Docker. So we are not going to look into the any environment. We are going to look into only interfaces. Okay, so that we can understand. So 12 minutes passed. We don't have any images that pushed here. The latest one. You can see no images. I keep on refreshing the page. Okay, so few seconds ago, the upload has been done. The images pushed by Ansible Playbook to the Docker Hub. And what about the job? Is it still running? Yes, is it still running? Okay, so we can go to the mobile stream also to check all these things, but I don't want to go there. I want to see all the things using the interface, the browser only. So it's running. Okay, so we have now the success flag. Now we are going to this is the IP. This is the IP of the Docker. Okay, you can see that the 159.25, 159.25. I'm going to refresh it. So you can see that our message get rendered here. So this CI/CD pipeline is working fine. So we are playing with the three servers. Means we are committing the changes, and the Jenkins is running on the on a different EC2 machine. Okay, and it will executing the Ansible playbook, which is kept at this particular location because they both have the integrations. And from this Ansible playbook, we are passing the tagging, and then passing all the informations, uploading the image to the Docker Hub, and then again the Jenkins will invoke the second Ansible playbook, which will create a Docker container, and the image will be fetched from the Docker Hub. So you can see all the things happens very perfectly fine. So I am going to do one more changes to have a better clarity on this. So this is the, this is the message I am providing this time. Subscribe my channel and keep learning. Okay, just a joke. Okay, so now I am going to status. We are going to do the other changes. We did not perform any types of modifications. Git add, git commit the message. Okay, git push. Okay, so if you look into the GitHub, again we have one commit 13 seconds ago. Now going to the Docker Hub. 3 minutes ago we have upload. Jenkins is running, I think. Let's go to that particular 16 number job is not started yet. We have to wait. It will take around 30 seconds to 45 seconds to start the job, but it will not take more than 1 minute. You can see the 16 number job is started. Okay, so this particular job is running. The console output will provide you all the messages connected to the Ansible server. Okay, and moving the artifacts. Then it will build the image, tag the image, and then push it to the Docker Hub. After that, the second Ansible will execute only for the Docker server, where it's create the container out of fetch the latest image fetched from the Docker Hub. So let's see the Docker Hub. So a few seconds ago, we have again a Docker image pushed by the Ansible playbook. So you can see that things is working fine till this point. Now whatever, okay, the job finished successfully. Now I'm going to refresh this page. So we have a different meshes, the updated one. Okay, subscribe my channel and keep learning. So thank you guys for watching this video. Next video we will come with Kubernetes. We will do all the things in the Kubernetes cluster, and that also going to be a very interesting because this is Kubernetes is a demanding topics. I already completed my CKA in June. I also uploaded several videos on Kubernetes on the CKA exam, and I'm getting very good response that my question set is helping people to qualify the CKA exam, and I received several such messages on daily basis. So if you want to prepare for the CKA exam, this is the good platform for you guys to just review my videos, how much complexity a question have in the CKA exam. And if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and press on the bell button so that you can get the latest notifications whenever I upload the video. And thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.